Chapter 48 of Ned Franks, or the Christian's Panoply. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Conclusion. It was on a bright, balmy morning in May that Nora Peel paid her first visit to her new aunt in her pretty new home. The young girl was an expected as well as a welcome guest, and Persis had made her bright little parlour yet brighter than usual, had filled her jars with fresh flowers, and prepared simple dainties with her neat fingers to greet her husband's niece. Franks and his bride went to the door to meet and welcome Nora, but were surprised to find her accompanied by Isaacs and little Benoni. Persis was pleased to mark a happier expression on the pale face of the Jew. Nora's blue eyes were sparkling with pleasure. She could hardly wait till she had entered the parlour to tell the news which she brought. "Oh, Uncle, Aunt Persis, you will scarcely believe what I have come to tell you. Mr. Isaacs is going to do such a very kind thing. He means to take my poor blind Sophie home and adopt her as his daughter." "And she'll be my sister," cried Benoni, joyfully, "instead of the little one who lies far away." Franks and his wife were as much surprised at so strange an arrangement as Nora had expected them to be. "Do you know the girl?" asked Ned, turning to the Jew. "I know her father," replied Isaacs, briefly. "He must be a great friend of yours," observed Persis, with a little hesitation. "He is my bitterest enemy," answered Isaacs. "But," he added, and his pale lip quivered with emotion as he spoke, "I have learned from our gospel to forgive, as I have been forgiven." Persis and Ned could scarcely believe their own ears, but Benoni ran joyfully up to his favourite friend, flung his arms around her, and cried, "Yes, yes, father will be a Christian, and I'll be a Christian, and we'll all go to church, and we'll all go to heaven together." "Can this be true?" exclaimed Franks, turning his eager eyes upon Isaacs, who did not shrink from his gaze. The convert held out his hand, and the sailor wrung it as warmly as if it had been that of a brother. "Yes," said the son of Israel, "I can stifle conviction no more. I have had many private talks with the worthy vicar, and my boy and I are to be publicly baptized as Christians next Sunday." "God be praised!" cried Persis. "I thought an hour ago that it was impossible to be happier than Ned and I were, but I find that our brimming cup can hold one more blessing still." "Never shall I cease to be grateful to your husband," said Isaacs with feeling, "for what he has done for my soul. It was he who led me to God, and if I, a poor hardened unbeliever, ever reach the paradise above, it will be in answer to your prayers, and from the effect of his words." "Not my words," exclaimed the sailor. "I could no more break down your prejudices than a cutter could overturn a mountain iceberg by running its jib-boom against it. No, it needs more than man's words to give faith to the unbelieving, and turn the cold heart to God. To fight against prejudice and doubt, to cut down the bosom sin, to overcome Satan and his temptations, we need the Lord's blessing on his own message. That's what strikes home to the heart. There's no weapon like that weapon, the sword of the Spirit." End of chapter 48. Read by René Lacroix of Woodstock, Ontario, Canada. An end of Ned Franks, or the Christian's Panoply, by Charlotte Maria Tucker.